What's going on, Port fans? Welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're going to be reviewing round 16 Port Adelaide versus North Melbourne, which happened at Metricon Stadium on Saturday night. Port Adelaide getting the job done by 34 points in what was a pretty, was it 34? No, it was 36 points in a pretty cruisy victory in the end. To be honest, it was we weren't really tested at any stage. Early on, we looked a bit off, but overall we did push through, and the Metricon conditions did make it a little bit tougher to play cleaner and fast footy. So, but nonetheless, we got the W, got another 4 points, and we stay a game on top, clear of anyone else on the ladder as we push into the final couple of rounds. So let's get straight into this review and see how the game panned out. It was one of those games, wasn't it? It was one of those Port Adelaide games where you go into it playing a bottom side, expecting a somewhat decent performance, and you know, we come out pretty short of what our expectations would be in terms of a margin. You know, we're looking for that percentage boost over Geelong and trying to keep our distance there. So effectively, we are 2 games in front on the ladder. But the Metricon conditions just didn't allow us to play that football where we were able to smash the opposition. We did have that one quarter in the third where basically, you know, we have that quarter of football where we put anything beyond doubt. When we've had it countless amount of times this year, and overall it's just one of those performances where you tick it off, you say we got the job done, pretty happy about it, and yeah, you move on into next week. There's not much to really, you know, you talk about, you know, your games and how you win, and pretty cruisy victory. I reckon Port Adelaide aren't in any more than third gear at the moment. They've shown that the last 3 weeks, beating Hawthorn and then beating Sydney. The Hawthorn game was more of a test because we were challenged a little bit. Sydney, we sort of, you know, at an arm's length and kept them away. And now you come to North Melbourne with a point to prove after getting smashed by Gold Coast the week before. They came out, they looked a bit, they brought the energy, no doubt about it, but we sort of broke away 4-1 in the first. That second quarter where we have those lapses. I'm not as worried about those lapses as some people might be. I know that we've had them countless amounts of times, and overall, you know, you should have that concern in the back of your head, especially if you're a coach. You know, you got all these plans in place, and you're wanting to perfect the game plan across 4 quarters, and that's what's going to win you the big games, the finals, and overall get you to where you want to be in the ultimate goal. So to have those now is probably better than in a couple of weeks' time when we do enter October's final series, and you know, you come up against a West Coast, a Geelong, a Richmond, Brisbane. You can't have the lapses that, you know, we've had pretty consistently. One in the third against Sydney, I think it was the one in the third against Sydney, one in the third against Hawthorn, and one in the third, second on the weekend. So you bottle them up, and then, you know, the Geelong game we didn't really turn up, and yeah, the form is pretty, it's flatlining. We haven't gotten out of third or fourth gear, as I said, for a few weeks now since Richmond, and some people say, well, that's our peak, that was our peak game, and we were just downhill from there. But we just find a way to keep on winning, and, you know, against a team like North Melbourne, to win by 36 points is a pretty convincing win in my eyes, considering, you know, we were a man down early with Burton and his quad injuries, and unfortunately, I thought, as Kenny said, it wasn't as high up, but you just got to put him on ice. You can't risk his game anymore, and if we're going to go a player down in a game early on, just don't risk it. You just can't risk it, especially in a bigger game. You need that rotation. You know, it's better off having someone like a Bonner, a Garner, or a Leanett coming through that defensive line, because you know you have a rotation. Whilst Burton is probably better than the lot, you just have to rely on them to produce some quality football, because an injury is going to affect you massively. Do want to talk about that third quarter a little bit. It just shows that once we get on a roll, that no one can beat us, no one can stop that avalanche of Port Adelaide football, and that's going to stack up. You know, that's 2014-esque against Richmond, 4 or 5 goals in 5 or 6 minutes. It's the midfield was actually really good on the weekend. I think once again our press was a little bit too high, and North Melbourne are able to get out the back, and that's interesting to say because I thought earlier in the year when we were losing those couple of games to St Kilda and Brisbane, the midfield was nowhere to be seen. But I think we've hit a purple patch at the moment. In that third quarter, you got Boak hitting the scoreboard, Wines hitting the scoreboard twice, Robbie Gray's hitting the scoreboard. He's going through the middle. Pau Pepper's really energetic around the footy, and then Big Charlie's kicking a couple. So it's just when the midfield's going, Port Adelaide's going, and Ollie Wines is in a purple patch at the moment, isn't he? He's just producing quality football, and since coming back into the side, he's been pretty reliable and playing that football that we know he can. And as a vice captain, you stand up in certain situations, and he has. He's getting that 20-25 possession game. He's hitting the scoreboard, which was something that Ollie has lacked, and he's able to influence the game a little bit more than we probably expected that he would early on.
Lysette, Goldstein, Lysette first hand on the ball. He's done that a lot tonight, Scotty Lysette. Went out to Hackett forward, Motlop cleared a path, Robbie Gray, look at this, Travis Boak, goal coming up, as easy as it gets for Port Adelaide.
Starting to own this part of the ground. High ball for Dixon, good fist from Mackay. Through came Wines again, there's another one!
Travis Boak, that's that man right there. That's who I want to talk about, because you talk about a purple patch for Ollie Wines. This bloke's having a golden patch. Like the last 18 to 24 months, this bloke since pre-season 2019 has just taken it up a notch. I can't believe he's 32 years of age and he's in contention to win the Brownlow medal. It's another 3 votes on the weekend. Have 30 plus possessions, hit the scoreboard. I just love Travis Boak. I can't hold it in anymore. Like, a lot of people know it. You guys know it. I love him, and I can't brag about his form any more than anyone else, because I'll be the first to say I was a bit worried at the end of 2018. But this he's our best player by far, and he's only 6 votes behind in the coaches' votes. He's gonna poll very, very well in the Brownlow. And he's a gun. He's just an outright gun. Speaking of guns, and unfortunately for him, he won't play for the next 2 weeks. Zach Butters getting that 2-week suspension, and it was probably there. And I wish he didn't do it, because I know he's a bit reckless, but he isn't reckless in the stupid sense. He's just reckless he's just having a go. His endeavour at the footy is just next level, and that's what you want. You want that energy around the footy, and when Butters is bringing that energy, everyone else comes with him. And it's unfortunate that he won't be there for the next couple of weeks, because he's been top 5 for us this year. He just continually puts in the hard yards, continually attacks the footy, and that's something that we've needed for quite a bit. And if someone like a Boak or Wines isn't quite on, then Butters is there. Rosie's there. These young kids are just building that energy, and they keep us going. And without Butters, it's going to be a little bit harder, I reckon, to beat someone like the Bombers, who will come off that disappointing loss against Geelong, and then you've got Collingwood the next week. But yeah, in saying that, it probably wasn't the right decision to bump, and he does deserve 2 weeks. You just have to accept it, and he'll be back first week of finals. Not much else really to say about this game. You just bank the 4 points. You cruise along into next week, and hopefully we do lift it up a notch against Essendon, because I know they'll come out. They have been a bogey side of ours lately, so yeah, you've just got to take what you can, and you continue moving forward. We've got to keep top position. A lot of people still don't rate us, and that's fine. That is absolutely fine by us. You just continually move forward, and then once you hit that 4-week block in finals, you switch it on and you just go for it. And I know we can do it, and I know we have it in us, and I know we'll probably do it, as in we'll switch it on. If you lose, you lose knowing you gave it your all. No excuses. Just want to quickly mention Hamish Hartlett's drums in the song. I absolutely loved it. Like, people saying, oh, we're getting ahead of ourselves. No, we're creating, we're having fun. If other teams aren't doing different things in the song, Richmond are groping. You've got other teams that just don't know what to do with their song. There's no energy. In Port Adelaide, here we are with drums. Get over yourselves. Seriously. What a great addition. And Hamish Harlett, he doesn't even bring the energy. Well, Port fans, thank you very much for watching this round 16 review of Port Adelaide versus North Melbourne. 36 points, as I said, a good victory. Bank the 4 points, and we move into next week against the Bombers. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new for plenty more Port Adelaide and AFL content coming your way across the rest of this season, building into finals. My name is Anthony, and as always, Travis Bloke.